Hey, I know y'all don't know me. My name is Tyra. I haven't made a video in at least a decade, especially in the natural hair community and on this subject, but I have to. I feel compelled to talk about this DevaCurl issue. And no, I'm not here just adding 2 cents that I don't have a dog in this fight. Baby got a nice little bald spot that's finally coming in to make my case. And the reason why I'm making this video is to not just be like, oh, it's affecting me too. I'm pissed because I'm tired of people, I won't say it's an attack, but basically it's demoralizing and taking credibility away from people who use these products, trying to make this company accountable for their chemicals, for their manufacturing, packaging, or whatever is triggering these problems in the number of us who are affected by DevaCurl products. People are making videos, some people who have nothing to do with the natural hair community, some newbies, and some old timers. I mean, I've been watching YouTube since Taryn, who no longer makes hair videos, since Kim A2. I've been watching this shit for a long time, since 2008-ish, 9-ish. So I know the community really well. And I have a reasonable dog in this fight with this bald spot and my hair thinning and my curl pattern changed. But I want to get back to what I'm trying to address. What I really wanted to do was make this business perspective video talking about the 3 different hands of ownership that it's passed since Miss Massey turned over ownership of the company and disassociated herself with the company. It's passed through 3 companies. Hinkle, I think, is the company now. Before that, it was Aries or RES Management. And before that, it was like Tandem. I was planning on doing this really in-depth business evaluation based on economies of scale, because we've seen this happen with Shea Moisture, with Eco Styler. When they become poppin', usually they have a difficult time meeting the demand in the market, and so they can't produce fast enough, and also so they can make more money, they tend to start outsourcing and looking for other ways because they can't handle the type of volume. And so that's talking about economies of scale, so you can grow as a company. And what typically happens is the product either has to downgrade in some way, either packaging changes, the sourcing of the ingredient changes, somebody gives you a better deal. The product chemicals and the product ingredients can stay the same. The actual makeup of the product packaging can stay the same. The temperature that they're stored in, the facility that they're stored in, the pallets they are on can change. The types of glue that glue the boxes together that they are shipped in can change your products. So with that said, I'm just frustrated by all of these YouTubers, and I'm not just gonna say all, it's not a lot, but it's enough to trigger me, and especially this Dr. Dray, it's enough to trigger me to say something about it. Don't take credibility away from us. We're not all following the curly girl method. I've been using shampoo consistently, I would say, for the last 4 or 5 years. I haven't co-washed in years. And when I did, I used As I Am. The only reason I stopped is because it wasn't necessary. I found no benefit from co-washing to using a regular shampoo. Regular shampoos don't damage my hair. And then all of a sudden, about a year or 2 after I stopped co-washing, everybody's saying, if you have low porosity hair, which I do, technically, I guess, you need to wash your hair so the shit could get in it. So I just been using shampoo. I like shampoo, been using it all my life, posed no problems. But I was getting pissed because we're gonna first talk about Dr. Dray. She decided to make a video. Now this is a dermatologist. And I don't know if she's practicing, and I wonder if she does, because when I went to her Instagram, and I didn't dig deep, but it's a bunch of her smiling next to products and not your regular, like, she's next to Neutrogena. So I'm like, she's a blogger more than anything. So when I saw her and she's shown up in my feed and my timeline, but I gotta say I'm a little prejudiced. I can't be racist because I'm Black, so I don't oppress anybody, but I am a little bit prejudiced because it's this pale white lady with straight hair. So I'm like, what do we have in common that makes you relatable to me? So I've never watched her videos, but she shows up in my feed all the fucking time. So she showed up in my feed, especially since I've been watching DevaCurl videos. And she made a video about how it could be a fungus on your scalp, just basically lending these problems to method mostly, and to the practice of not washing your hair. And what is happening with this Dr. Dray and other people is that they're making the assumption that people follow this curly girl method to the Bible. And someone like myself and many others who have experienced these things and who have been affected also wash their hair. If they don't wash it every week or every time they wash their hair, some people still use a cleansing or clarifying shampoo if it's not DevaCurl's own clarifying shampoo. But a lot of other people in other videos I've watched say, well, I use my own shampoo. I didn't use, this curly girl method. So that was just completely demoralizing to me to have someone using their doctor credentials. And I'm not saying she's saying, oh, I'm giving you advice as a doctor. It's just that when that's your name on your platform, that is you using the power of the doctor credentials. You have to carry that title carefully and responsibly. And I think it was very irresponsible of her to make a video. One, she's not in the curly girl community, number one. Not that I know of. Two, are you seeing clients that's affected by this? So can you speak to this directly because you've witnessed the effects of this? And three, this is you trying to get clicks because you don't have a fucking dog in this fight. And nor did you properly assess the culture, the environment, or the temperature of the room of the people who were experiencing this problem. It would have been better for her to feature the woman who started this, and I'll insert her name. I can't remember her name. I was going to say Desus and Mero, but it's not, she goes by the Curl Ninja. That is what she goes by, but her YouTube channel is something different. She should have made a video, talked to her, educated herself, one, by someone who's in the community, not only in the curly hair community, but someone who's a part of Diva's culture because they were trained by DevaCurl. She should have spoken to that person or taken the leap and been like, hey, I'm a dermatologist and I want to make a video about your product and people's experiences. She could have reached out to DevaCurl. There are so many ways people can fact check and dig for information, but they don't, which leads me beyond Dr. Dray. There were other people, new YouTubers trying to get clicks and old school YouTubers who are on here like talking about, well, maybe you should be washing your hair. And that is a motherfucking slap in the face. Because this thinness I got right here and this fucking bald spot has nothing to do with me using the curly girl method. I've never used the curly girl method by way of DevaCurl, and I wouldn't follow that shit to a T anyway. So don't disrespect me by saying, well, maybe you should wash your hair. Could it be the method? Could it be you need to mind your fucking business? I'm sorry, I needed to say that because it's so disrespectful to people. It's people with worse symptoms than I have. It's people who are having physiological symptoms that have nothing to do with their hair. All I have is a bald spot, some thinning, and a curl pattern change. I can cut this shit off. I got dope ass barbers here in Detroit. This shit can be blended right in. I'm not worried. The only thing that will worry me is if this shit didn't go back and this thing got bigger. But now that I know the trigger, I've taken my DevaCurl back to Ulta, and I want to talk about that experience. Ulta, you need to notify your fucking employees because that was an awkward experience to take a mostly used product back and your employees not have any idea. So I look like one of those serial returners, and I'm like, no, that's not my vibe. I don't return shit that I've used. I usually throw it away and buy another one. It's pissing me off that people are making the assumption that even if 50% of the people who are experiencing these issues are using the curly girl method, that means 50% aren't. Or if it's 60 and 40, 70 and 30, 90 and 10, you can't make assumptions about a demographic you don't belong to. And I've heard some people say that they scanned the Facebook group, but did you really ask them what was their method? So now I'm tempted to actually form a survey, some way to collect the data because my degrees, management information system, some way to collect the data to find out what products people were using, what other products they were using, and did they follow the curly girl method to the T? And if they wash their hair, how often? How often did you use this product? When did you buy this product? That data needs to be collected because that would make a stronger case for this. But to have people who don't really have a dog in this fight, or people like Dr. Dray who aren't even in the community, to really put your 2 cents in, either for clicks or views or just to give your fucking 2 cents, stop taking away our credibility and our experience because it's a slap in the motherfucking face for those of us who don't follow the curly girl method. And it's like saying, I fucking told you so. Just because you ain't saying it and you ain't saying it sarcastically, don't mean you're not doing a fucking I told you so. Like, it never made sense to me to not wash my hair. Well, good for you, bitch. I'm so fucking glad you washed your hair and you found all of your solutions. Okay? Sorry, I'm a little animated. I'm not sorry. Sorry, not sorry. But I'm happy for you bitches who thought that this was a bad idea in the first place. Good for you. You knew it was a bad idea. Some of us, just need to try and explore like the rest of us have been doing on YouTube when we try bad products, or the people who've been using Shea Moisture for years and they changed up on them, or the people who use Eco Styler like myself for years and Eco Styler changed up my hair 2 years ago, which is why my hair is in a mohawk now. I wasn't planning on making a video about my hair loss. The only thing I wanted to do was take my product back and possibly get some action for the lawsuit. And my point in saying that is I don't need the views. My life isn't to become a natural hair YouTuber. I stopped it years ago because I realized, I was like, I love y'all, but I was like, all these people do is buy a new product and style their hair the same way every week. I have to come on here and say that it is not reasonable, it is not fair, and it is irresponsible to make assumptions about a community of people who are affected or afflicted by a product, and you have no dog in the fight. You're not on either side. One, you are not a representative of DevaCurl, and two, you are not a representative of those who are affected. So to add your 2 cents, to take away credibility from people without knowing who has lived the curly girl method to the T, to the Bible, or who hasn't, who only use their styling products. Many of the people I've watched have only used their styling products and have explicitly said, I don't use their no poo. It's not my thing. Some people have used only the no poo and don't use their styling products. So it's a mixed bag, and it's very irresponsible, and it's very just kind of condescending to say that to us, those who have been affected, who don't even follow that method. So please keep your 2 cents. If you want to make a video and you need views, get creative, but don't piggyback off of us who actually have hair loss. And I'm really sorry. And I'm making this with the anger of the children who lost their hair, the men who lost their hair, and the women who are not only having symptoms of losing their hair, but hormonal changes and things like that happening to their body. Because you can't take away someone's experience by assuming that they should play full responsibility when you don't know what the other part has done. DevaCurl has an interest to protect. And it's not to say that they're being malicious. I don't think DevaCurl is being malicious. I think they're covering their ass now, and they're not owning it because they don't want to live in the fact that maybe there could be a mistake not triggered by it, but there may be something happening in the chain, in the supply chain, that's triggering these products to cause damages and hormonal effects, and we don't know what it is. We don't know if it's the containers, if the product's pH is changing, or whatever the case may be. I don't know how they tested it, if they tested their raw product in the lab, or if they tested after it shipped to a store in Ulta. And I want to speak to the Ulta situation in a minute, but if you don't have a dog in this fight and you're not working for DevaCurl, or you're not affected, you need to kind of shut the fuck up and sit down. You need to have some seats before you take away the credibility of people who are having this experience. You don't know who's following the curly girl method. Just have a seat. There's somebody who's probably scared to bring something old back, but you need your money back. You deserve it, especially if it triggered this shit. Especially if it triggered that. I want my money back. And I didn't even get cash back. I just got some new product. I don't hate Ulta. I don't even hate DevaCurl. I just need, one, these YouTubers who don't have a dog in the fight to have a seat. Two, for anyone with a doctor credential or anyone who's a researcher or a chemist, like there's a chemist on here who's doing it. She did her research properly. Someone who's dug into possibilities, but someone who's honest and clear about not taking credibility away from people who have been affected or afflicted by this. And lastly, Ulta, I need you to make, and other retailers like Sally's who sell DevaCurl products, make your employees aware of the possibility of returns so people don't have these awkward experiences. I know if you got the complexion for the protection, it's not that big of a deal. Some of us don't have the complexion for the protection, even though I'm very fair. I'm still a Black woman in Metro Detroit. So make your employees aware that people may be bringing things back that may be mostly used, but it has, cause for concern. My name is Tyra. I'm a speaker, storyteller, poet, writer. I'm also a business student, a data specialist. I'm pretty much an on top of my shit person. I'm pretty organized, and that's my credibility. I'm not a person who needs to lie or who's fishing for views or who's fishing to be popular. I love communicating. I love speaking and storytelling, but these are not the kind of stories I like to tell. This is energy I didn't want to have to spend in anger over a fucking hair product. Please stop taking away credibility from people who are telling you this shit is causing my hair to fall out. It's not the fucking method. It's the fucking product. Peace out.